Did Xbox just stumble out of the gate at their Xbox Series X gameplay reveal event? Yes, they did.
Shocker.
What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Conbrosations, a show where we record conversations we were going to have anyway.
It's true.
And upload it to the internet.
We do.
I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, with the most below Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going okay. How's it going?
It's going okay. We got done yesterday watching the Xbox Series X gameplay reveal event for the next-gen console games, and we're feeling a little bit weird about it. We thought we'd do a video on our thoughts on exactly what's happened, and some very crucial things, including the resolution and frame rates of these games that were completely left out of the console. The information, strange.
There was some serious flexing going on, and they didn't even mention it. And then they went and tanked basically all of Ubisoft's goodwill.
They basically did. It's so strange. I don't know why they did that. Ubisoft and all of those other games where they were like, well, we're going to see gameplay for them. And we didn't. Anyway.
Yeah. But before that, this video is brought to you by our amazing patrons over on patreon.com/conbrosations. Who do we have to thank?
We have Saki, the one and only, Comrade Conrad, Diogo Dildo, Record Friction, Catsbud the Friendly Patron, Dan the Man, and Jeremy Renner. That's right, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going here at Conbrosations.
We are officially Avengers approved.
We are officially Avengers approved, right
by
there.
The best
Jeremy
Avenger
himself. Exactly, the best Avenger, the strongest Avenger.
It's true. It's true.
So yesterday we got this reveal event for all of these next gen games. They weren't first party; they were third party games, and they didn't seem. All of them weren't AAA. They were like, a couple of them were, AC Valhalla and things like that. But some of the other ones were brand new titles that we've never heard of and seemed to be from smaller, more independent studios like Bright Memory, which looked actually quite fantastic.
It looked really good. So did Scorn. They weren't AAA titles in the sense that they're not, Assassin's Creed, but they looked at that quality.
Gorgeous, right? Absolutely gorgeous. Clearly a lot of blood, sweat and tears went into those games, and we appreciate it. Yeah. The only thing is that they marketed this event as a gameplay reveal event. That was very important to us because we thought, even if this isn't, because we're looking like we're going to get the PlayStation, but even so, we was like, this is going to be third-party stuff, and also, we get to see a kind of a taste of what's going to be on these next-gen consoles. We're going to get to see some actual gameplay running on consoles. This is going to be so cool. But we didn't get that. It wasn't that.
I want to jump in here and say, because I caught a lot of flack from the guys that weren't disappointed by this, saying that like Ashraf Email, voiced by Troy Baker, of course, said what it was going to be, in particular the Assassin's Creed stuff. And I feel that. The problem is that, because I tweeted out afterwards and I tagged Ashraf, I was like, if you think this consists of a gameplay reveal, you're wrong, basically. And I caught a lot of flack from that from a lot of AC fans who said, look, we're not disappointed. I was expecting about that and stuff. And I said, look, that's not what I was expecting as somebody that's not an AC fan. When you say gameplay reveal, that says a few things to me, and I put up a version of The Witcher 3 gameplay reveal as an example of it, and also an Assassin's Creed one that Diogo shared with us from 2011. That was a gameplay reveal, the exact same wording. That's what I was expecting. And people said to me, like, well, why are you tagging Ashraf? It was Microsoft that showed that stuff. Two reasons. One, he's the creative director, I think, for AC, which means he's one of the bigwigs. And if he starts feeling the pain, he's going to have to realize that whatever they did and arranged with Microsoft was inappropriate, right? It shouldn't just be, the plebs are complaining in the streets. He should know that it's an issue. And two, Microsoft used up all your goodwill.
They really did. They really did. They suckered you into something thinking you're going to get one thing and then gave you something else.
Right, and Ubisoft can sign off on the wording that's used. They can say, they could have said, don't call this a gameplay reveal. You can say, we'll show you some gameplay, we'll show you some in-engine gameplay, we'll show you an in-engine cinematic, something like that. They'd have said, another in-engine cinematic teaser, fine.
They could have
the word
said
gameplay.
They could have said as well, so after the first cinematic trailer that they released, they said, join us for the Xbox conference for some gameplay trailer reveal. They could have said, join us for another teaser or an inside look or a first look in game. They could have said that. And then when Microsoft said something different, that would have been fine. But really, in my opinion, Xbox has a lot to blame here. And this is really their stumble, because this was supposed to be their stage to show off their new console and all of its power and the games that you could be playing on
I
it.
completely agree.
and we didn't get it. On top of all of those great games that we saw that didn't get gameplay for, there was a bunch of information as well that was put out afterwards on the official Xbox Series X page, showing all the optimized games for Series X, that new logo they were showing off. There's games like Bright Memory, Scorn, Chorus, Scarlet Nexus, Dirt 5 Medium, all of those games that you saw, all of them running in 4K, beautiful 4K, and a majority of them running at 60 frames per second, with some of them running at even 120 frames per second. These are very, very impressive stats that we got absolutely no information about and got to see absolutely none of. Which is very troubling, and that is the main feeling that I have about this conference right now, that Xbox has stumbled right out of the gate.
What a strange thing to miss. Like, we called this a few months ago. I think we even had a pizza bet on it, and I said something along the lines that I think there's going to be a corporate stumble. It's going to be Microsoft because these things are run by suits. That was the basic gist.
I really think it's going to be like that. So yes. Oh, man. Yes, there's a blunder. Yes, it's from a guy in a suit. Yes, it's from Microsoft. Putting my cards on the table. That's my hand. I'm all in.
All in. Oh boy. We took a whole bet, and we also did a nice little Google straw poll and whatnot, or a Google post and whatnot, where people could vote, our fans, and everyone was saying, someone's gonna fuck up, and it's gonna be Microsoft. Or there was a few people that say it was gonna be PlayStation, but PlayStation had been so quiet, so they didn't get the opportunity. But
I said it would be Microsoft first as well. That was the main thing. Xbox first, and this is before Xbox even is really in it. They managed to frick up before an Xbox reveal. Like, I would say the first frick up is the fact that there's not a single first party thing here. This is all stuff that I can play on any other console. So why are you attaching your name to it?
That's the thing. We said as well in the stream that we did, we said your first showing of games should have been your games. It should have been something Halo? For... Exactly. Where is that? And you want to hear something funny? Immediately afterwards, they were like, guys, we're going to show you first party games. It's going to be in July. And then immediately after posting that, word came out that it's not just going to be first-party games in July, because they don't have the roster to fill enough of a time to show all their first-party, because they don't have any games. It's really, really frustrating. They're not ready for this at all.
No, and the other thing is, look, if you don't have that many first-party games, that's fine. Show more. Halo is big enough on its own. Halo and Fable. If you spent an hour conference on Halo and Fable, I'd be hyped as frick. I love those games. I love them. That's more than enough, right? You just need to show me some detail. Have some guys, even if let's say there's 5 to 10 minutes of footage, how about have some guys talk about some stuff that's actually interesting? That would work. Genuinely. That absolutely would work.
The best way that it was done was God of War, right? They got to play the very first mission, the very first portion of the game. They're so close. It was something like 15 minutes of them playing the game exactly how you would right there in front of you. And then afterwards, 100%. They spoke a little bit about it. That's half an hour of content right there. And people are excited about you. No one else. You. How hard is that to do?
And also, like, that hardware, the fact that those games looking the way they did, so, and I don't mean in 4K, like the resolution, I mean the quality of the graphics.
Yeah, the graphics.
In 4K, at 60 to 120 frames per second, that's a flex.
Didn't even
mention it. How out of touch. Like, that's the place to mention it,
They went hard on their smart delivery, which is a very pro-consumer move. Again, it's down to the third-party developers whether or not they want to implement it, and I'm sure a lot of these guys were paid off a little bit by Microsoft to do it because they're being shown off on this stage the very first time. But if you say, guys, we've made a console so powerful that you're going to be able to run all of your future games at 4K, 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second, ray tracing, all that lot, then you've got the gamer. Then you can give all these extra perks on top, like smart delivery and Game Pass and things like that. Then that will just seal the deal. They didn't mention it at all. Not even a single flex. So strange.
How out of touch that they didn't even think that would be worth mentioning. It's very strange.
Right? Like, they're completely out of touch.
The big draw, Assassin's Creed. I'm salty about it because I was expecting to see gameplay and more than like a fraction of a second, right?
Yes.
And we'll include links to those two videos, The Witcher 3 and was it Assassin's Creed 2?
I think it was
2011.
2. Yeah.
in the thing, so you can see what, when I hear the word gameplay, I was expecting. Now, I'm not expecting that level of it. They could have done a quarter of like what the Assassin's Creed one was, which was less than the Witcher 3 one.
Yeah.
And I would have been happy. I would have gone, okay, cool, because it's quite early days, right? We got the first cinematic and then see a little bit of gameplay.
Little snippet, yeah.
Right, like, how about 5 to 10 seconds? And I said this, I want to see the guy climb up a building, jump down, axe dude in the head, fight a couple of guys, done. 10 seconds, not even that, 5 seconds. Just to see, when you say gameplay, I expect to see how I'll experience the gameplay.
The problem is that we've been burnt so many times that when we see a cinematic and it looks all beautiful, and then we see the gameplay when it comes out and the difference is night and day. That's why we wanted to see them two side by side, and it would have been a great time to do it, because
Absolutely.
I suspect AC Valhalla is going to look fantastic, especially because of the next gen consoles.
Yep.
I think it's going to be so close that you're not going to notice a difference. Wouldn't it have been amazing if they just went, here's the cinematic part, and then it just goes seamlessly into the gameplay part, and they're like, hold on, this is gameplay? What? Then that would have been the conversation.
Do you remember how God of War's the one shot?
Yes.
And the very first time we experienced that was the guy not realizing he had control of Kratos yet.
Yeah, he just went straight into it, and it was like, hold on, is this is it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, like, that's the time to do stuff like that. And look, I understand we're going to get more from Assassin's Creed. I get it, right? We're going to see reveals and proper gameplay, all that stuff. The issue is that we were kind of led to believe by Microsoft that we would see it there. That's Microsoft using up a lot of Ubisoft's goodwill from the casual fan. I'm not even a fan yet, right? This is the first Assassin's Creed that's got me interested enough to look at the franchise, and now I'm salty. And
especially because we were so hyped after the initial reveal. It was like, do you know what? Let's give it a shot.
And if they'd have showed that exact same thing but said, here's another look, here's some extra footage, it was the specific wording. And a lot of people, like I said, have given me flack for that. I hear gameplay, I expect to see how I'll experience the game. And 5 to 10 seconds of it is enough.
Yeah.
I felt like we were underserved there. And I feel like it's big on Microsoft's part. They just keep blundering. And again, super important, I want Microsoft to do well.
I do too.
We desperately need the competition. I don't want a lazy Sony,
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, that was the first misstep, I'm going to call it. First underwhelming misstep that Xbox has done in this new console generation. It's not looking good if the rest of the generation is going to be like that. They seem like they were so on point with their messaging. Yeah. And when it comes to serving you your first dish, they seem to have dropped it in your lap. So
it's cold soup, innit?
Exactly. I'm not happy about this. I hope it gets better. I guess the ball is in Sony's court now. It's literally theirs for the taking.
I'm going to say this. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they're going to do fine. It's going to... I think the game will be what it will be, but in terms of their PR, it's going to improve. We'll get to see more. I think Microsoft's going to continue to make these slightly out of touch, or in some cases very out of touch. Honestly, the fact that just before we recorded this, you told me the frame rate and resolution.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that they hadn't mentioned that, right? That's so out of touch.
So bad.
So I think, Microsoft's going to continue along those same lines.
Yeah.
Like, this was an entire third-party conference, or reveal.
Yeah.
And they must have known, at least some people, casual idiots like you and me, were going to be salty over the fact that they said gameplay and they knew what was going to be in it.
Yeah.
And then they associated their name with that disappointment. The whole time we're watching it, there's the Xbox logo. So now, in my head, I'm that disappointed, not just at Assassin's Creed, but with Xbox, and I'm already leaning towards the PlayStation.
Yeah. I will say one thing about Assassin's Creed as well. Shortly after that event, Ashraf Ishmael, email, however you want to say it, he came out and he put out his own tweet, in his own words, from his own thing. It's like, I think we need to re-establish what we mean when it comes to things like gameplay and what you guys expect. We understand that there was something wrong here, and he's admitting fault right there, that there was something wrong with their messaging.
It's not his fault.
To go back to it. It's
not his fault.
It was totally a PR thing. It was totally, they were like, we're going to say gameplay because that's going to get people to watch.
And that's the thing. That's what I had a hard time explaining in whatever it is, 150 characters on Twitter. It's not his fault, but he's a big enough wig that he needs to know people are upset about it to get something to change. If it's just the PR team, they don't care.
They don't give a shit. No, they don't.
And if it's Microsoft, the message will never get passed down. I actually want AC Valhalla to be really good.
So do I. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Even with the missteps that's happening, it doesn't change that the game actually might be good, and it's looking like it's going to be good. The things they showed, actually, like the big scenery and the draw distance they showed and stuff like that,
looks incredible.
That looked incredible, and the artwork fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, that's everything we got time for today. We hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did want to say anything about the Xbox reveal, your feelings, your thoughts on anything that got revealed, what your favorite game was, let us know in the description over there. Mine was that Bright Memory game. That looked really good. I can't get it out of my head. I can't.
Mate, that Scorn looked really good, but there was a point where it looked like there was just a horsecock jizzing on video, and I was like,
it was a little
can we even show this? It's very like, is it MC Geiger? I think it's the guy that did the artwork for Alien and stuff. Like, there's dicks everywhere.
Yeah, so it was really weird. Anyway, guys, we'll catch you all in the next one. Keep the gaming going, boys. All right.